Hi, I'm the artist Ryan Mosley, and I'm going to talk to you today about the painting from 2017 called Weekend Retreat. There's various starting points of any painting, and I guess more specifically in some of the bicycle paintings, I was looking at a kind of a visual anchor in the bicycle's wheels, and it kind of reminded me of an art school colour wheel. So that as a starting point, I was already interested in the idea of a bicycle being a kind of a mode of transport or a vehicle to take someone from A to B. And that couldn't be done, for example, without the wheels. And I just thought the wheel painted stationary, it gave the option of painting between the spokes and using the spokes as a kind of a divider of pattern, colour, tone. And I guess as a starting point, that allowed the rest of the painting to be kind of born out of the bike, if you like. And then thinking about the rest of the exhibition and the characters that were in the exhibition, there was a real mix of portraiture, and some of the characters that were in those portraits kind of reappeared in the larger paintings. Likewise in Weekend Retreat. I was thinking kind of also about like leisure time, downtime, the times between working Monday to Friday, and having time with friends as well, and kind of fond memories of riding a bike as a kid, and then also whilst I was living in London, my main mode of transport was a bike. And then again, as I've gotten older and kind of commuting between home and the studio, it kind of seems to be like the perfect mode of transport to get you from A to B. So having that in mind, it was kind of like painting the things that are around you and having the bike around me, and it had been around me most of my life, although different bikes, but as a mode of transport, it just felt like the perfect kind of stage. So using it as a kind of almost like a plinth, if you like, the figure resting its arm on the saddle, kind of as you would imagine in like an equestrian portrait from sort of 200-300 years ago, the rider with the horse. I felt like it had a comparison, art historically speaking, with those kind of genres of paintings. But I wasn't really necessarily interested in making a painting which was kind of history. I was making a painting which was fictitious, so the character doesn't really exist. The bike doesn't really exist. It's kind of an amalgamation of kind of a bike I used to have and bikes I remember riding when I was younger, like road racing bikes. So it's kind of it's fictitious, but it's also based on some form of reality, and that can be a memory, or it can be through the process of making a painting, and then kind of making something which is kind of physically present, like the bicycle. I thought, well, where will this environment be? And I kind of thought, well, a bike's usually ridden outside to get from A to B, but in this instance the bike's been brought inside, so it's almost kind of, is it had to go to a garage to be serviced, or is this bike pride of place and it's this person's sort of pride and joy? So the bike been brought inside, it suddenly changing something which was very simple, the inside becoming outside or the outside becoming inside, it suddenly changed how I was reading the painting. And then is that as a thing and that as a mindset of making a painting, not really knowing where the beginning, the middle or end is going to be, suddenly they're painting a very simplistic portal, so this window or the bottom half of the painting, that for me then started to suggest that this was the inside and maybe this is the outside. And it just had a very nice relationship, the square becoming a rectangle, and the relationship with that, with the circle of the wheels, with the triangle sections and the spokes. It just seemed like suddenly this painting was obviously about a bike, but it was also about colour theory and pattern and structure. And it suddenly the painting became built of kind of rectangles as well. So the format is a landscape and it's rectangular, but suddenly split with this sort of broken bottom horizon line, and then this other sort of vertical rectangle which could be read as a door. Without sort of being overly descriptive, I was describing the inside of a space, and maybe it's an art studio as well. And that, in a way, was returning back to what I was saying earlier about my mode of transport is always pretty much from home to studio is by using the bike. So it kind of felt like this could be an art studio or an artist in their studio.